You have to be able to admit sometimes that maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I made a mistake. It doesn't make you a bad person. We all make mistakes. We all do these things. Keep in mind, sometimes the problem is external, sometimes it's internal. Be open to both possibilities, no matter what's happening around you. Let's face it, the other thing that I want to talk about here is just the acknowledgement that the characters that have been redeemed have of their mistakes. Admitting your mistakes. Because, let's face it, Starlight and Sunset have almost become, in my eyes, better than Twilight sometimes at helping other characters to see their flaws and make amends. And we'll look at it here.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We've all been there.
Really?
Manipulated an entire town into giving up their talents so they wouldn't think they were special.
Overpowered by magic I couldn't control and created a rift between two worlds, almost destroying both of them in the process.
Turned an entire school into my own personal zombie army in hopes of conquering a distant pony world.
We are a really forgiving group.
The acknowledgement. They've been through this and they know what it's like. It's not just to this extreme though. Every one of you have faced a challenge in your life. We can all relate to one another in some way. We've all had to overcome some great obstacles, some challenge in our life that has made us go, but I can be better. Being able to acknowledge that and have these discussions with our friends, keeping our friendships strong within that, it's the best thing you can do. Having these discussions and saying, I know what it's like. I've been there. It's really comforting at times to know, you're not the only one. Hell, when I figured out, when I first discovered this show, for example, and, I watched an episode and then I was like, okay, I watched the second episode, and then I watched another episode, and then I'm like, holy crap, I'm a brony, aren't I? And did anybody else have that thing where you felt like you were the only one around? I had that so bad. And then I went to my first pony convention and I'm like, I found my people. It's easy sometimes for us to feel alone. Realize that you're never alone. There's always someone out there who will understand your pain and what you're going through. We're all unique. We all go through unique challenges, but we can identify still with similar things within ourselves. That acknowledgement builds our friendships even stronger and kind of puts those bridges up to make us go behind different cultures, behind different ideologies to say, you know what, I went through this and you may not have gone through the same thing, but it's similar. And let's talk about this and let's build a bridge between what I think and what you think, and let's come together, because I bet you we have more in common than we think. So the one thing I like to put in here is I want to remind people that bad people do good things sometimes, and good people do bad things. It's always important to keep in mind, because sometimes it goes the other way. You have bad people that do good things.
It's a lot of work keeping every pony fighting, but as long as I keep them convinced that I'm their only friend, all the answers will be mine. You can't trick a confession out of a pony like me. I'm always one step ahead.
Well, you better check your hooves, because you just stepped in a confession.
No, wait.
Did that sound okay?
Clemens Clan told us you'd see right through the fake rich Ponyfest, and that once you did, you wouldn't be able to resist gloating about it. This was all part of the plan.
Wait! No! You're coming! Come on, run down!
Taking action is the biggest thing about redemption. You have to take those steps, even if they're the baby steps we talked about earlier. You have to make them. Look, let's go back to Rainbow Rocks, for example. Sunset is taking those steps. She's trying to embody being better. She volunteers to take the new students on a tour. Granted, she didn't know they were villains, but she still did a good thing. She's trying to do those things to make people see that she's getting better. And she's trying to make herself believe it too. She really got a challenge in that movie. She got challenged a lot of like, have you really changed? Are people really going to accept you? You have to do those baby steps. You have to take action. Flim and Flam are not going to take action. They did a good thing one time. But it's clearly obvious that they're not going to go back. They're not going to keep doing that. And that's one of those things you have to take in. A lot of times it's great to have, it's great to make those friendships and have people be redeemed. Every once in a while, there's going to be that person that's not going to do it. Remember that, and take care of yourself first and foremost, no matter what. You can't change everybody. You can't make everybody be what you want them to be. As much as we want everybody to be redeemed, there's going to be every once in a while, there might be that person. Keep that in mind. Take care of yourself. I always hope that everybody can become a better version of themselves, but I recognize too that sometimes bad people do a good thing. Take action. Sunset took action. Starlight took action. Starlight took a lot of actions, and now she's one of my favorite ponies, period. Because, let's face it, they use their experience to their advantage, and that's what we can all do. I encourage all of you as you go throughout life, as you go throughout this weekend, think about what you've done, where you've been. Think about the low places and admit that they happened. Think about the challenges you overcame. Think about something you're struggling with right now. There's always a struggle every day, and every single one of us have our own in our own ways. Think about it, work on it, have conversations, open up to your friends. It makes your friendship stronger. And that, more than anything else, is what I call keeping friendship magic. Thank you all for coming. We only have a couple of minutes left, but if anybody wants to bring up anything or ask questions or anything, feel free. Otherwise, I really thank you guys for coming and listening to this dorky guy from Pennsylvania talk about science and ponies. It's what I do. It's what I love. I do have a couple of business cards left. I do have a Patreon too if you want to see me get to more conventions. It's patreon.com/KFM for Keeping Friendship Magic. It's easy to remember. Otherwise, you can feel free to just take a snapshot of that. Keep in contact with me. I love making friends at conventions. Otherwise, go forth and be the best ponies you can be. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Going way back to like stress and anxiety. And you mentioned in your example how someone called their boss and said, "I need to get mental health help." That's awesome for them, and like I have an awesome boss. Most people don't.
It's
Most
true.
people
You're not wrong.
6 days for vacation days, and some of you are minors, but some of you are actual adults like we are and have jobs and careers. And if you have a boss that will do that, or you don't have to take time, I mean, some people, if you don't show up, you get fired. So I was just wondering if you had any thoughts or tips on how to try and keep your stress and anxiety down when you can't take that time off.
There's definitely some things you can do. I've taken a couple of yoga classes and I love it. It is fantastic for reducing stress. Ingrid actually teaches yoga. I was kind of sad she didn't do a yoga class at this con because I've taken it at previous cons she's been at, but I love it because it really is an outlet. I think there's little things you can do. It's finding kind of like a core something that works for you. Some people do breathing exercises. That really helps me sometimes with anxiety moments, is kind of a 4-part breathing. Kind of you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Through the nose, out the mouth. It can help if you can, because it's kind of a matter of centering yourself. It's hard to do sometimes, especially anything with meditation really helps, but it's difficult sometimes. You almost have to kind of force yourself, sit there, just force yourself to just be at peace for a little bit. The breathing thing is the one thing that I think that helps me the most in the moment. The other thing, and sometimes especially at work it can be hard, is trying to reach out to somebody to just be like, I need a venting moment. It can be hard depending on what your job is. Like, I can't take my cell phone into work, so it doesn't work that well for me. That's why I try to do the 4-part breathing. or just have that thing where you're just trying to kind of. I've literally gone into an empty spot at work and just yelled. I've done that just to get it out, just to be like, I have this build up in me and I need an outlet. And I think that's the biggest thing, is find an outlet that works for you. Some people use stress balls, some people use fidget spinners. I really wish that didn't become such a tacky thing. I wish it had stayed what its original intention was to really help people. And if that's what you need it for, do not be ashamed and do not let anybody mock you for it. You have every right to use your fidget spinner, fidget cube, whatever it is, despite the trend and the tacky whatever cliches now. Do whatever works for you. And I think the yoga thing really helps if you can fit it into your schedule. Yeah.
Some people may have low-paying jobs or no job at all if you're kids.
Some YouTube videos can help. It depends on where you're at with yourself. I took some in college, so it kind of got me the start, but I know that there are some YouTube videos that just say, be careful, know your body's limits more than anything else. Don't do anything that's going to push your body over what it can do. Anything else from anyone else? All right, thank you guys for coming. Enjoy the rest of your con. I know there's not too much time left, but get out there and be awesome. Awesome as you want to be. Yay!
Following that was Fireteam Harmony Q&A. So Fireteam Harmony is a group of individuals who make Halo-themed My Little Pony suits. Second time seeing them at a convention. First time was at Ciderfest. From the sounds of it, I guess they do kind of go around to all these conventions. It's not just a group of 4. There's a bunch of other people who do it too. They just coordinate their schedules to see who can go to what. Definitely check that one out. Also check out their YouTube channel. It was really great. So Fireteam Harmony. Definitely a funny group right there.
Dorothy, don't forget to turn on your mic too.
Actually, forget to turn on the microphone. Now go hide in the corner.
Poor Derpy.
So, did somebody ask, have you guys had a good con yet? Because that's a good way to stretch your time. Did you have a good con? Yeah, it is Chicago, don't worry, Cooper. Oh, no photographs. I want to keep my interviews. I'm really bad at it.
I'm just surprised that you guys let me be up here again.
I was out.
It's kind of like a little man out, like a little there over there.
On the bright side, at least I didn't arrive within the last 10 minutes of this showing.
I had so much luggage. And Spike wasn't here to haul it all.
And if there's any time,
I think he's dead.
gonna do something like a culture.
I haven't seen him since 2016.
Yeah. If anybody has seen Spike, tell him to haul my luggage. So, yeah, it's like big things.
Hey, there we are.
Yeah, you figured out the money.
Oh, can't we? Now there's 2 of us.